no good gamer here. I gotta say, the dual blades are probably the funnest weapon that you can play against Jin Dahaad. Because realistically, really fast attacks, you combine that with the blast that I put on it, and that buildup. I have full part breaking and full flare, so I get bonus damage to wounds, and I break parts a lot faster. Um, but honestly, like, look at that. Coming on in. You're gonna see this a lot, but this is how the daggers work so well against this guy. This is its focus attack. The numbers are so small compared to when I'm playing on my normal setup, which is the lance. They use lance or usually use gun lance, but it's a little slow on this guy, and I had the idea to try it with the daggers, so I got a set of explosive daggers, blast daggers going. Usually I'm not great without a shield in most situations, but this thing is so big it's pretty easy to dodge most of the stuff once you figure out how it works. However, I do like myself a good guard counter. Yeah, these dual blades though, especially with the blast on them, they just tear apart parts. Yeah, a bunch of tiny numbers, but that's a whole lot of blast buildup. Because on top of that, these daggers also have the, I have 3 blast. That's the skill upgrade for it. So it's got even more blast and blast buildup. And I think I put the crit, not crit element, but the other one, the crit status. So it just, anytime I crit, it just blows up everything. That's why a lot of these weak points that I hit end up having explosions so quickly. And run one this way. Oop, look at that, free ride to go back. And a free ride to go back. Unfortunately though, I was disappointed because I pointed my camera the wrong way, so got a real short one. That was almost clean. Finding the glowing red means more damage. Bring this on through, got it killed earlier. And this is what I like to do on this part of it. Make sure you line yourself up at the head, and then just start laying into him. I got lucky here because I got to shred in with a lot of damage and then go right into the focus attack before he got up. Spread that along the whole back. Boom. And I could have left this out, but I thought it was kind of funny. I still survived, but... God, that animation looks so cool. I was disappointed in myself for not going for the focus strike on the chest spot, but... By the way, this is the only weapon that I've ever successfully broken this ridge on Jin Dahaad. None of the other weapons I've used have gotten there. And I use lance, gun lance, hammer, longsword, and heavy bowgun. And not one of them have I gotten to break that with, and the dual blades just shredded them the first time I actually got on them. Because I may have cut a bunch of footage out of this, but that was the first time that I actually went for that ridge. I went for tail ridge first, then the back hip ridge, then the head, and then I go for this one because, I mean, you can't really go for the front shoulder ridge until you break all the others anyway. And I figured I was cutting around all over the place before. So for this last section, in his final stop, give you guys the full footage of fights, me getting knocked down and everything. And if anybody's having trouble with this part, it's honestly real simple. You just kind of pan around in a circle, slowly heading towards either the head or the tail, depending on which one you're going for at the moment. But once you start seeing stuff fall off, you can go ahead and yank him down, and then when he lands, you get that good stun period to just land damage. Honestly, people say that the wound mechanic made the game too easy, but honestly, in some instances it is a bit easier, but it is just a new mechanic. For all we know, they may dial down how much damage it really does later in some kind of a patch, but I don't really expect that. Plus, the higher you get, it's a little more difficult because if you mess up and get hit, it's like 90% of your health right there if you're lucky. Keep in mind, I don't normally play dual blades. Like I said, I usually play lance or gun lance, so I'm used to having a shield, moving a little slow, and kind of baiting out abilities to do counterattacks on. A lot of my biggest damage on lance is counterattacks. Gotta say, as far as having small numbers on the weapon and realistically outputting fairly small numbers, the daggers, or the dual blades, put out quite a bit of serious damage. I like the fact that you can pretty much, as long as you can jump on their back, you can get a decent like animated attack where you go flying across the top of them, kind of like the focus one. Well, kind of like this one. Because like I said, it's not a whole lot of big numbers, but the blast buildup is nice. Yeah, see. That ended with an explosion on his head at the end. This part was a little awkward. I go to chirping up and didn't really need to. If you've hung around this long, I deeply appreciate it. Take it one step further and leave me a like and subscribe. That would be even better. Alright everybody, have a great rest of your day.